and Marshall syndrome. What is a chromosomal disorder? A chromosomal disorder is malfunction of the body system caused by abnormal chromosome numbers. Mutations is change or damaged DNA. Polyploid is when cells have two or more pair chromosomes. Aneuploid is an extra or missing chromosome which causes an unbalanced chromosome number. Trisomy is an extra copy present causing developmental issues. Monosomy is a diploid chromosome that lacks homologous pairs. Epiloid is having an exact multiple of haploid chromosomes. Unparental disomy is when a person has two copies or part of a chromosome from one parent only. What is Stickler and Marshall syndrome? Stickler syndrome is a hereditary condition, and you know that it's there because it has distinctive facial appearance, eye abnormalities, hearing loss, and joint problems. And the Marshall syndrome is a rare autosomal dominant genetic disorder caused by mutation in the COL11A1 gene. The name origin. So Stickler syndrome comes from Gunnar Stickler, who found the syndrome in 1965, and there's actually a picture of him up there. And then Marshall syndrome is named after Dr. D. Marshall, who found Marshall syndrome in 1958. I couldn't find a picture of Marshall. So the genotype. The genotype of Stickler syndrome is a mutation in the COL2A1 gene and is heterozygous. And the Marshall syndrome is a mutation in the COL11A1 gene. The phenotype. So the severity of mental disability. Stickler and Marshall syndrome from what I found, are not it's more of a physical syndrome than it is a mental syndrome. Same with IQ. The IQ of Stickler and Marshall syndrome is going to be the same as a normal human being like me or you. The phenotype, the symptoms. So Stickler syndrome, it's frontorental degeneration, myopia, cataracts, rental holes, and detachments. Since neural hearing, a characteristic facial appearance with mild facial flatness and small chin, long upper lip, palatal abnormalities including cleft. And the Marshall syndrome is a flattened nasal bridge and nostril that are tilted upward, widely spread eyes, nearsightedness, cataracts, and hearing loss. So is it detectable at birth? No. Both syndromes are not able to be detected until after birth. Occurrence in humans. So for Stickler, it's 1 in 7,500, and Marshall syndrome is 1 in 1 million. Life expectancy. So Marshall and syndrome both do not affect the life expectancy. You can live a long life with both these syndromes. Like susceptible diseases that a person with epiloid chromosomes are not. For both of the syndromes, I looked through lots of sites, everything I could find, and I could find nothing on this specifically. Can it be passed down? Stickler syndrome, a person will not have a carrier gene for this disorder unless they have this disorder that can be passed down. With Marshall syndrome, yes, it can be passed on through the generations. This is a boy that I found that has Stickler syndrome, and then I found this picture of this little girl who had the Marshall syndrome.